Not 100% accurate.
Okay.
But
The good news is I passed them.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. Yes, yes. Okay. Call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners, May 19th.
Commissioner Ernst,
Here.
Commissioner Engel,
Here.
Commissioner Rollins,
here,
Commissioner Vogelsang,
Here.
Commissioner Wright.
Here. Any changes to the agenda tonight? Nope. Okay, we'll open it up to public requests. Please, if you have anything to say tonight, it's 3 minutes, and please state your name and address. And the only topics we will be discussing tonight will be on the agenda, but you're more than welcome to discuss anything at the podium.
Hello, my name is Robert Ducate, 5351 Northwest Third Terrace. That's one of the areas in Boca Chica. And I'm calling, I handed out this little front page and the summary page of the Ocean Breeze Master Plan that your consultant did after discussion with all city residents on the priorities for North Park. This shows on the back of it, page 13 of this full report. You have 20 items listed on here, including several that show as priority, second priority, third priority. There's no skate park listed on here anywhere. We know that you approved the skate park without it ever being on any agenda of this commission. And I think that is certainly not consistent with your normal process. I think that as I have mentioned before, there's much better place near 4 schools for the skate park. There's going to be a dog park in North Park. So you could use this location where the current dog park is at out on the south side of the Spanish River Athletic Complex, if you want to do that with the city. But I think that, again, having the skate park in a residential area is not consistent with the community and the wellness of the community within Boca Chica. You've heard people at the last meeting speak about the noise, and it's not on your current plans even. Your consultant hasn't been here. Your consultant was supposed to be here, I think, last month and talk about moving of dirt somewhere on the east section to help prevent any of the hot spots that they have from being exposed. So again, I don't know what your consultant's doing, but of course, none of this was on your original proposal. And even if you are going to consider the skate park for the North Park area, the very least that you could do is reopen the public comments. And that'd be the very least that you could do. But there is certainly a much better location for the skate park near 4 schools where the most of the youth will be using the skateboards. Also be good for parents who have multiple children. They might have children playing soccer. Another child might want to play in the skate park. Again, the city has vacant land south of the Spanish River Athletic Complex, which they could certainly use. Thank you for considering it. And hopefully we can not have this skate park in Boca Chica.
Thank you. Next.
Hi, I'm Evan Bennett. I live at 152 Northwest 12th Avenue. I've emailed all of you to thank you for supporting the skate park. My son started skateboarding when he was 6 at the Hooks Hold Park. We went there, we've gone there nearly every night until just now he's 16, so he's 18, so he has to work and things now. Noise complaints are a red herring. Skate parks are no noisier than any other park. They are quieter than pickleball parks. If anyone's ever stood around one of those for very long. The location in Boca Chica is certainly up for debate. It's a good location to build it because you can proceed now. Expecting the city to do anything with its property. We begged the city. They did not listen to us on the downtown plan. And so it's not your fault that this has sort of fallen in your lap and we're asking for a place. We've demanded of the city that they do more. And that's fallen on deaf ears in a lot of ways. As for moving it to where or to where Meisner Bark is today, that's a very, very busy park. So any dog park in Boca Chica will not be a replacement for that park. It will simply be an addition to that park for a city that now has over 100,000 residents. My understanding is the Boca Chica property was transferred to the Beach and Parks District as part of a land swap because the residents of Boca Chica did not desire to have housing built on what was a country club at one point. That means that the property is the property of everybody who lives in the Beach and Parks District who pay taxes in the Beach and Parks District. And so the building of a park should not simply be the desire of a few within a neighborhood, but it should be considered for the entire betterment of the entire community. For those worried about skateboarders in your neighborhood, I can tell you that most of them show up to the park with their parents. So there won't be the problems of whatever you're imagining will happen at skate parks. The one in Boca Raton has been handled very well. The one in Miami is handled very well. Other places they develop and they operate in a very good community. And I would prefer that than to skateboarding kids or scootering kids or bicycling kids or whoever's using it. If we develop it as a wheel park rather than just a skate park, I would rather have them in that park than in the public shopping center or in your parking lots or wherever else they'll be, exposing themselves to danger and exposing you to danger as well. So I encourage you to continue moving forward with this plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marvin Lycan. I live at 6500 Northwest Second Avenue, which is right by what will be the north entrance to North Park, which is a whole other issue that we'll take up, I suppose, at another time. I would like to bring to the commission's attention how closely and fortunately we were to have Brianne work with us and meet with our residents at Boca Chica 9. It meant a lot to us. Thank you, Brianne, for attending and meeting with us. I'm somewhere in the middle of these last two speakers. I understand that there truly is a need for a skateboard park. The skateboard park prior to what is being railroaded here, if you don't mind me saying, was part of a sports complex. It was mixed in with softball courts, tennis courts, a skateboard park. That's not passive recreation. The North Park has been presented right from the start as a passive recreation setting. Trails, gardens, playgrounds, dog park, etc. The city of Boca Raton needs a skate park, very much needs a skate park. And maybe some of this should have been considered before the plan was to build and build and build and build. Skateboarding is not passive recreation and does not belong in the North Park setting. It should either stand alone or have incorporated into other parks that serve more sport-related recreation. Interestingly, I did a search today and look at Boca Raton skateboard park and saw the rules that govern the existing park. And I saw things on there that I had never seen before. Things like no graffiti, no alcohol, no drugs, no loud music. This gentleman is saying this stuff doesn't happen, and it very well may not happen. But just the fact that that's in the rules for a park doesn't fit into a skateboard park, doesn't fit in to the culture or the setting of a passive recreational setting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Bonnie Golden, 6300 Northwest Second Avenue, Boca Chica. Forgive me for reading. 14 years ago, I moved into Boca Chica as a full-time resident, just as the golf course and the community center with the amenities for all of us and the restaurant were closing. Since then, the golf course has remained abandoned except for the resident coyotes. There was a great plan to make an executive golf course with a learning center, pickleball and tennis courts and a restaurant. Those plans were shot down, and 13 years later, we have plans that keep changing and the golf course remains empty. Boca Chica is prime real estate and the value of our properties have been fluctuating, and we only offer pools as amenities. Imagine what kind of community it would be if we offered the executive golf course and the learning center, pickleball, tennis, walking paths, and a dog park and a restaurant. The value of our properties will only go up and Boca Chica will become a desirable area once again. The people who play pickleball and tennis range in age from children to retirees. The same cannot be said about skateboarders. They're children and teenagers and young adults. Their time to play is limited after school, after dinner, and weekends. Would you please consider putting the skateboard court someplace else and use the space at Boca Chica for something that everyone can all use? And last, Boca Chica's charm is the avenue of banyan trees and the walking path. When you open up Jeffrey Street, you're going to increase the traffic flow. That's a given. How long is it going to be before you decide to widen Second Avenue, Northwest Second Avenue? And take away the trees and then uniqueness of what Boca Chica is. Can anybody say that you won't? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Donna Casma, 6300 Northwest Second Avenue, part of Boca Chica. Why? This has just been such a long journey. I was here when we first started, when we even just said, hey, maybe we can even get Boca Chica to become, not a development. So why? We have gone through, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 surveys on surveys. We have redesigned. We have, you didn't like it or we didn't like it. And we went through so many iterations already. And I just think this is unfair, to then go take after all of this and then put something like that park. And so I'm not for it. I think there's plenty of other places that would, work just as well. And we have so many things we've already picked out. We've been waiting so long. And we've been, battling and loving and hating and going all through these crazinesses for so long that I just think this is really pushing it too much. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hello, my name is Richard Mesh. I live at 5340 Northwest Second Avenue, also in Boca Chica, of course. And just, again, like it's been said, the demographics just don't warrant a skateboard park. The golf, walking trails probably would have made a lot more sense. I go to play golf right now around the golf. It's $105. I take my son, it costs us $225 to play around the golf. I don't see how a skateboard park is going to enhance the lifestyle for the majority of the people. The demographics just don't work. I don't think in my association that has 143 units, I don't think there's 5 teenagers between the two buildings. So just doesn't seem, the demographics just don't seem to make sense. And I hope we can reconsider the thinking of a skateboard park.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Harold Chaffee. I'm the president of Keep Out from Boca. I'm listening to everybody talk here and it is frustrating to us. You know, it's been so long. It's been almost maybe 10, 12 years since we started this. And all we do is get a high on, we're going to get something and then it gets taken away from us. It keeps on changing. It keeps on redeveloping. I don't know when it stops. To me, this looks like a junkyard for the city. Anything that they don't want and can't put any place else, they stick here because you know you'll take it. You know, you have such a bargaining power. It's incredible. You know, they want something, you want something, you know? Yeah, you know, I just don't think this skate park doesn't belong there. And I told you before, I pick to schools and kids have, the lines are exorbitant coming. I don't care what school you go to, trying to pick up their kids. It should be in a place where basically kids can exit school, go something, go in the park, play a little ball, do skateboarding, do something that they want to do. You know, instead of, and you get rid of those lines that the parents frustrated trying to pick them up at a certain time. You know, I don't know when these plans are going to finally finalize. I really don't. You know, I know that the city has so much more junk they want to get rid of. I mean, you've been putting them in Sugar Sand Park. You've been sticking the things. I don't know where you're going to put all this stuff. But to me, all you do is you talk about free space. You're taking all the free space away. You know, you want they got the children's museum. They got the tennis courts. They got so much stuff. Also, they can get what they want, and we don't get what we want. It's just a shame. And as far as the road, Jeffrey Street should never go through. We have a community. What you're going to do is destroy our community, our way of life. That's what you're going to do. We give you over millions of dollars worth of taxes, and in return, we don't get what we really want. We come to meetings, we discuss things, we talk all the time, you know, and it just doesn't seem like it's being heard. It's just move along, steamroll them over. You know, it's hard to get anybody motivated because they're all disgusted. And you can't blame them. You come to these meetings and nothing's ever done. You know, you come, you talk, you discuss. The skateboard park, I don't object to a skateboard park. I object to where it is, not because it's just Boca Chica. It's not really in an area that to support the skateboard park. It isn't. It should be a place where basic people can, you know, kids, it's a really ideal place is to make the most convenient place that the kids can get to. But like the man said, without riding a bike, without have parents have to drive them there, whatever. You know, kids need some place to go after school that it isn't constraining, to get them out of the bedrooms, get them away from the stupid cell phones, you know, and we don't have that. You know, every park that you have, even the baseball field, everything you have to belong to a club or some kind of an organization. The kids just can't get out and play on a field. When I was a kid, we played any place that had a field, where there wasn't a house, a vacant lot, anything in the street, anything. You don't have anything like that here. That's what you really should be shooting for. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Nope. Okay, we'll go ahead and close public requests and do approval of the minutes of the previous board meeting held on May 5th.
Move to approve.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ernst,
yes.
Commissioner Engel,
Yes.
Commissioner Rollins.
Yes.
Commissioner Vogelsang,
Yes.
Commissioner Wright.
Yeah.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, moving on to regular business. Item number 1, the CRA budget input discussion.
Commissioners, in line with our ILA with the city for the CRA, the CRA has requested our input by next month. We could ask if anybody wants to have conversations, just step outside of the room because our microphones pick it up and it's hard to hear online for the folks listening. For the CRA budget input discussion, last year we made some recommendations, which they've been working on in their plans. One thing that's not on my list that I just put in here as a recommendation of something that we should move forward with is as they work on this Tara Frisbee plan downtown, I think that we should recommend that the Tara Frisbee group definitely meet with our recreation services staff at the city to talk to them about any recreation components that they add down there to make sure it's actually going to meet a need and have all the infrastructure to support the needs in the community. That's my only addition to the memo that I included, but I'm going to write down, diligently take notes of all your suggestions so I can put a letter together again this year.
Okay. Anybody? Go ahead, Steve.
One thing I would specify, I agree with everything that Brianne said. I would specify that if Tara Frisbee is going to include an athletic facility in the city campus, that They also include sufficient public parking so that the residents of the city, not only the residents of the apartment building or the hotel guests or the employees of the various businesses in the office space, have the opportunity to use these facilities, but that all Beach and Park District residents, for that matter, have that opportunity. And to that end, you really need the parking to support it.
Yeah, and I think that's what Brienne meant for them to meet with recreation, so that if they do put amenities in there, they have the support around it, because there was no parking in the,
Exactly.
so I think that's what she meant by them meeting with recreation to discuss everything as a whole. So that'll be on the list.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I did speak to the gentleman from Terra Frisbee, and I did tell them that they really, really needed to meet with Brianne as well to understand what we do, because so many people don't understand our mission. And they were very willing to do that. So if you wanted to reach out at some point, Brianne, that would be great.
Okay.
One of the things I just want to keep walkability and safety in the CRA. For the bikes, for the walkers, the runners, whoever is going to be on the streets, I'd like to make sure that safety is really a priority.
Okay, Bob? No, good?
I think Bree had pretty well covered my thoughts about that, is that, I wish they'd done it a lot sooner, and in the process, maybe we could have salvaged some of the components that they're pushing off or wanting to move out of there for their master plan. But I think, the recreation downtown, if they do have, a field house or whatever, they definitely need to make room for it, because it's not only for the residents there and the hotel guests, but also for us taxpayers who may use that. I noted also, just as an aside, the probability of having these self-driven autonomous vehicles downtown, which, I like the city the way it has been and drivable, because there's a lot of vendors down there that, may have some issues with some of the changes that they're doing. But as we deal with recreation needs for the community, I think it's important that the Terra Frisbee ends up having some input from our recreation staff to make sure that we get as much as we can downtown for recreation, but rather than just a lot more concrete and structures.
All right, so you're good to go on that one.
Do we want to continue the support for Sanborn renovations and expanded
Everything that's on
activation
the
from
list.
everything on the list too? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Okay, moving on to number 2, traffic garden painting request.
Commissioners, on page 11 of your agenda packets, this is the traffic garden. We're gonna put a layout up on the screen. And this is for the, this is that temporary recreational amenity that we've been working on with the city. The city designed this. We got a quote, which we were seeking approval for tonight, or I also wrote in here, there's an alternative if you want to give me a, we can also go in here and take some things out of it to make it a little less expensive, change the paint type. Things like having the lettering Boca Raton Bikes, those are things that we could take out to lower the price. If that's something the board wants to look at. I know Commissioner Ernst and I had a conversation this morning, so I don't know if you want to weigh in,
Sure.
if the chair is okay with that.
Well, eventually I'll make a motion if you want, but I thought, look, I love the traffic garden concept and what's there. The proposal that was provided to do the thermoplastic paint is really very expensive. And as someone who recently did it for our corporate park, I found that the thermoplastic paint is required for FDOT high traffic areas. And it's at least double the price of a painted type work. If you want to make sure it's going to be on the roads and it's going to be there forever, it's kind of raised, it's reflective, it's all those kind of things. But for purposes of the traffic garden, what I was going to suggest is that let Brianne search out some of the pricing of these things, and maybe, we can approve the larger amount, but let her, maybe she gets a better price on the either using just paint as opposed to the thermoplastic. She'll have more money for shade structures or trees or anything else around there that are going to be required to finish this whole thing out. So my suggestion would be is to approve a dollar amount of maybe 180 or 190,000 here, but let her work with that to flush out a little bit more details rather than putting it all at Schiff Construction for the thermoplastic. Because ultimately they have to go to a paving company. It's the paving company who does this work, not Schiff Construction. So you have add-on features to it. It's a matter of getting these people. They're hard to get a hold of. I understand that.
Okay. I'm good with that too, however the board wants to vote.
Well, I'd like to be a little more specific to give you better direction.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know what the number is, Brianne, but I would think somewhere around 150,000 would be a workable number to work down to. But
Okay.
like Craig says, if the board wants to just leave it open to that, but I think that we could compress it down to a lower number if we were to go to a different paint that's less expensive. And it is temporary in the sense that we don't know what eventually will go there. But I think it would be the function would be just as functional if we had a little less expensive. But
Keep in mind, it is in full sun, like all day long, every day. So we do want it to last for at least a good amount of time, I think. I'm on board for doing what Craig said in terms of the 190 or whatever. And then if she can find,
Make that inclusive of,
not to exceed.
not to
yes.
exceed, but make that inclusive of having trash cans or benches and shade
Mhm.
or a
Well,
shade.
yeah, I
cover or
wasn't
something.
proposing anything differently, but I
Okay.
was just trying to say, get
Cap
to
the
a
painting,
different
yeah.
number, without reducing the effectiveness of what we put down.
Okay.
And maybe there's nothing that's less expensive that will do the job that we want. And so if Craig, if you want to make your motion, I'll second it.
Okay.
Susie or Steve, did you
Okay.
have anything else?
I'm
No,
good with it.
I agree with Craig.
Okay.
Let's cap it, not to exceed a 190.
Mhm.
But if there's savings to be achieved, let's go for it.
Okay.
So
We can do
you
that.
want 190 or 150?
190.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve the traffic garden paint striping and additional work as needed up to not to exceed 190,000.
Second.
Okay, we'll go ahead and roll call.
Roll call. Commissioner Ernst,
Yes.
Commissioner Engel,
Yes.
Commissioner Rollins.
Yes.
Commissioner Vogelsang,
Yes.
Commissioner Wright.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, we'll do approval of payroll and invoices. Commissioner Ernst?
Sure. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion for approval of payroll and invoices in the amount of 2,708,790,58.
Second?
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Ernst,
Yes.
Commissioner Engel,
Yes.
Commissioner Rollins.
Yes.
Commissioner Vogelsang,
Yes.
Commissioner
Sorry.
Wright.
I'm reading my notes.
Commissioner Wright.
Yes, yes.
Motion passes unanimous.
All right, moving on to reports and discussion items, Executive Director.
Commissioners, the final drawings for the roller rink cover at Sugar Sand Park, we're expected to get those in June, so we'll have more updates on that during the summertime. We're waiting on 2 final reviewers for the permitting for the ballpark improvements at Pat Reef and Sugar Sand, so we hope to have permits in hand soon and at the early start of June. Comments are due June 2nd, so we hope to have that soon to get started on those projects. Asphalt is getting poured at the pickleball complex at Pat Reef, so that project continues to progress well. As you all know, the groundbreaking for the Boca Paddle facility at North Park is slated for June, and they're still working through their PWR review for the city. So the groundbreaking in June, I'm not sure when construction will actually start after that, but I know they're getting close to getting their permits reviewed. We are working on getting a qualifications list together to put that out for potential bidders for the North Park project on our side of things. As you all know, the city centennial events are happening this weekend, the big events, the concert, as well as the drone show. So it'll be an exciting time in the city celebrating 100 years. And then, of course, for us, our exciting achievement this week will be opening our Pat Reef Park Playground. The public is welcome to attend. It's at 3 o'clock on Thursday. If you guys would like to see some of the projects we've worked on, that playground will open 3 p.m. Thursday. It's at Pat Reef Park. It's an all-inclusive playground for kids of all abilities. Just for the sake of clarity, I want to mention that this board, as far as the construction of roads on Second Avenue and Jeffrey Street, that's not us, that's the city council. So we have no authority over road improvements or widening of roads or anything like that. That's not us. So if you do have concerns about that, I would encourage you to talk to city council about those things. I also want to say, as the parent of somebody who uses the skate park, I've heard a lot of assumptions about the types of people that use the skate park. I am the parent of a child with special needs. And the first time we found a place where she felt accepted was at the skate park. She's been skating for about 2 years. We go to West Point a lot. I want to let you know that there's a lot of kids and a lot of really good people that use the skate parks. It's the first place that she has gone to where she's been able to make friends and feel like she belongs. And she fought crippling anxiety that prevented her from going anywhere. And yet she could always put those roller skates on and go out to the skate park. And those people, whether they were teenage guys or 20-year-old girls, they all encouraged her and befriended her and made it a place for her to feel loved. So when we talk about the skate park, we talk about these stereotypes of who's using it. There's a lot of really great people using these skate parks, and you'd be happy to have them in your neighborhood because they will look out for your neighborhood more so than a lot of people that you'll see in some of these other recreational facilities. So I'm saying that on a personal note, and I apologize to the board for doing that, but I want to let that be known out there that it's not just bad people out here skating and drinking and smoking, and no more than you would have at a softball field where, you know, people play, adults play, and they also drink. And the park rules are across the board: no alcohol in any of our parks, no alcohol on the beaches. And yet people do bring alcohol to the beaches. They bring alcohol to our parks. So when we put these stereotypes out there, it does hurt people's feelings. My 11-year-old listens to these meetings, and I want her to know that it's a good place to go and it's a safe place to go for a lot of people. So that's correct. Yep. No, well, state parks are also great places. Support your state parks too. But skate parks are what I'm talking about. So, and I also want to clarify, just as far as the process goes, I keep hearing this idea that everything's being done in the shade and nobody's talking about this. We had a meeting on April 7th where a wide range of skaters, including skaters that actually live in Boca Chica, came out here and they advocated for the skate park because it means something to them, because it changed their life to have that amenity. Not everybody participates in team sports. My kid is one of those people that did not find enjoyment in team sports. And so they advocated for it. This board gave me direction to start talking to the city about a location. We have 2 places where things can go in the city, and that's DeHornley Park, which you guys have all mentioned and supported. But if we do put the skate park at DeHornley Park, we have to find a place for athletic fields because we need more athletic fields. So the only other option for us is to look at North Park for athletic fields. And I want to tell you, athletic fields are going to be open late. You're going to have a lot more traffic in your neighborhood with athletic fields. You're going to have lights on till 11 o'clock, and you're going to have noise because one of the skate parks we go to is next to ball fields, and it gets very loud when those guys are winning or losing or whatever. There's a lot of music being played as each batter goes up. So, you know, this is a park that's for all of the district residents, not just Boca Chica, but I think that you guys will love what we do. I encourage you to come to Patch Reef and see the playground we're building for kids with special needs, for everybody to enjoy. I think you'll see that we do a lot of great things. And all your concerns, your safety concerns, your sound concerns, those are things that this board addresses in every single project, whether it's backed up to a neighborhood or not. Those are things that matter to this board. We've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in improvements on our security in all of our parks. And we continue to focus on those things. So I want you to stay engaged on this. We're very early on. All we've done is located a spot at North Park where this could go. Nothing's been designed. Nothing's been voted on. Nothing's been awarded. There's no shovels in the ground on the skate park. We're very early on in these discussions. So I encourage you to stay engaged and voice your concerns. When we have those public input meetings, come to them and say, listen, I don't want to hear this noise. Say what you want out there, and stay engaged. And we appreciate you guys coming out, but I do want to say that there's a lot of great skaters out there and they will love your community too. I'm done.
Sorry, this isn't a public input at this time, so we just have to go through our, go ahead.
Well, bravo. I mean, I agree 100% with you, Brianne. And I would say, you know, as a father of 3 kids who have been involved in different team sports and things, I've heard an awful lot. I've met the skaters early on. I went down there to all those downtown events over the past 2 years, 3 years when they were doing things. I mean, these are good people, you know, and what I really think is terrible is vilifying them and saying and making a fear factor of who they are, what they are, because you have a sign up of something like that. These are really, you should be blessed to have these people in this community asking for a passionate thing to have a proper skate park. What's downtown is not a, you know, proper skate park by any means, by any standards. And they've asked for this for a long time and they've stuck it out. So I don't think we're getting garbage at all with this. We're getting a good group of people who are very high quality, inclusive, bringing a lot of people along, and we should be thankful that we have a passionate community that is looking for something. I have heard over and over about Boca Chica, and it's not in my backyard is what I've heard. I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this. Come on. There is limited amount of land in all of Boca, and be grateful that we're putting in the best trails facility. It is 212 acres. It is never going to be a defunct golf course again. That's just reality. It didn't work. And it didn't work for the community, and it can't work today because it is, you know, the whole community, more than 125,000 people have to live in this community, and they want to recreate. They want to have parks, trails, having multiple things in there is a good thing, not a bad thing. And so the vast majority is going to be green space. So this is really an opportunity that someone's investing in it. The beach and parks, the city, everyone is investing significant, not only dollars, but time. You know, so you're poo-pooing us for taking 8 years. I'm the first one to say, why the hell is it taking so long? And I don't want to spend that much money, but geez, we're spending a lot of time and money on this. We spent an inordinate amount of time on a golf course that got snuffed out on us. We all regret that, but that's the way it was. Times change, things change. The downtown city campus has to change. The roof collapsed on the finance department in there. It's time. You can only use these things. So it's a matter of sorting through what we can with the best things together with our city partners to do the right thing for all of the community. And that includes, you know, everyone in this whole community, north, south, every part of it. So I'm sorry if a road has to go through on Jeffrey Street, you know, but you know what? If that's what makes it easier for the police and the fire trucks to go from one end of the city to the other end, well, then it ought to go there because there's other people who are dependent on it as well, not just the people in Boca Chica. So I really believe strongly in doing the greater good for the community. And that's why I'm here, is to do what I think is best for all of us. And I hear you, but I think it's a balance of everything. So thank you, Brianne, for sharing what you said there. It's a little frustrating being up here sometimes just to hear the complaints when I think we're doing a lot of good things here. But the reality is we're very neighborly. We've done an awful lot to accommodate everything for everyone. And that's been our goal all the time. So that's it.
Thanks, Craig. Steve?
Bravo to both of you. Thank you. I will just say this, and this is a drum I've been beating for the last 8 or 9 years. I noted in the emails that I got with regard to opposition to the skate park, out of a dozen, only one went to a member of city council. City council, the city of Boca Raton, is the one that wants to put the skate park at North Park. City council, the city of Boca, is the one who is responsible for wanting to widen the road. We welcome you coming in here and voicing your thoughts, and please, by all means, make your complaints. That's part of our job, is to listen to you. But you would also get a lot more mileage if you not only spoke with us, but you spoke to city council. If you went down to the meetings, if you attended a city council meeting like you attend our meetings, believe me, they'd stand up and listen. They take notice. So don't only talk to us, talk to city council, talk to staff members, talk to the city manager and the city manager's deputies, talk to the head of rec services. Let them know how you feel. Okay, they're there to work for you, just as we are. But if you just come to us, that's only half the story. And we're very limited as to what we can do in a lot of regards. As far as the road is concerned, we have no say whatsoever. That is strictly a city project. If they decide and they get the permission from FDOT and East Coast Railway that they want to put a superhighway on Jeffrey Street, they can do it. Okay, and we can't do anything about it. All right, so I encourage you, please keep coming to our meetings, but also go in front of city council and talk to city officials. Because talking to us, you only get what we can do. And that's not a whole heck of a lot. So please, if you want to have your voices heard, talk to the city. Beat them over the head. It's okay. It's still a democracy. We can do that as long as you don't use actual clubs to beat them over the head. All right, and that's all I got.
Thank you. Jacob, you have nothing?
I do not.
Okay. Bob?
I'm gonna defer to Jake and get, it's his time.
No,
to
no,
speak.
No, he has
thank you.
nothing.
I
Yeah.
can't top Brianne's comments. I have nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you know, I have the sentiments similar to what Brienne said, but the fact of the matter, we're here to listen to what you have, and I've taken notes over the objections that folks have had, and as Craig Brienne said, you know, we try to do what's best for all of our constituents, and our parks are available to all of our citizens. We receive ad valorem revenue from the city as well as from folks that live in the reserve area. We will do our best to put a product out that is if this is where we end up going. I have no idea. Starting from that first meeting where we heard the skaters, and I'm quite comfortable, like Craig said and Brienne said, that these are responsible folks, and we'll provide security in any of our parks, which is a big issue. I think that we've had concerns addressed. I'm hoping that we can find a way to accommodate everyone's interests as best as possible. I'm a resident of Boca, like you. I want to do what's best for the community, and if it means a skateboard facility that we can make that's is less objectionable than what we're hearing, I'm certainly in favor of that. So,
Susie?
We do appreciate you taking your time to come and to send emails. These emails will be part of the record if we can't read them all on during a meeting, but because we didn't advertise it as such. But our staff, my colleagues voice a lot of my sentiments. One of the other things you may not be aware of, we don't own DeHornley. So what Steve says goes. You got to go to the city and let them know what you're displeased about or unhappy about. We can't just put a skate park at DeHornley. We don't own it. So we do own the property in North Park that we are looking at, but it's not nothing's a done deal. We haven't done anything that, like Brienne says, you know, we haven't put shovels in the ground yet. So I think a lot of this stems from a misunderstanding that we can just build any place we want, or we have room any place in Boca. We don't. There's very little room to put any of these amenities. And because this new government center is going to go in, we need to accommodate the recreation in our community. So thank you all. And thank you for coming and for writing to us.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I just wanted to say thank you for your comments.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for letting me speak.
The one thing that I take kind of personally is when people put out their false information about us. As you can see up here, how we've all talked tonight, we're very transparent. We are honest with the public. And Mr. Ducate, for you to put out false information that we're doing a backroom deal, it upsets me, and I think it upsets everybody else here, because we are here as volunteers to do good for our community. And when you spread that information around to others in your community, they'll believe it, because they're not here every day to see us. So I'm glad everybody was here to hear us, and I'm glad you came so we could hear you. But to do something like that to us is very disheartening, and it hurt me personally, because I try to be as honest and transparent as possible. We talked about that skate park on three agendas. It was on 3 agendas.
Well, the first agenda was just in public comment,
right.
but then it was on the last.
but it was on the last ones.
We've only had 3 meetings since. it started.
And it hasn't been designed yet. And when they go through the design process, they're also going to do public input meetings for that. So to put out there that we're just throwing this in the design and we're trying to sneak it by people, I mean, that's crazy. And you know that's not true. So to put that out there, it's just lies. And that's not fair to us because we're trying to do something good. Okay?
In your own report. Citywide report.
Nope, nope, you're not at the microphone, so this is my time, okay? I'm expressing my thoughts, and for you to put out false information about us, who is the most transparent group of elected officials I've ever come across, is just, it's not right. So are we all set?
Move to, we're good? Yeah.
No, I don't
No,
know.
get it.
And then-
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Commissioner Ernst?
Yes.
Commissioner Engel?
Yes.
Commissioner Rollins?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogelsang?
Yes.
Commissioner Wright?
Yes,
Motion passed.
we are adjourned.